Hello, I am gonna talk about the second season of Star versus the Forces of Evil while I do this naughty drawing. If you haven't finished to watch this season, then leave because I am gonna say some spoilers. The second season was boring in the beginning. Only a few chapters in the first half were fun for me. It was disappointing me a lot. Of course, it was preparing it all for the second half where everything explodes and then was absolutely fun. I liked it when I knew about the past of Muni. I can see future new villains. That means that a lot is coming soon. Well, we already knew that there will be a third and fourth season, so now I wish they will be a long and satisfactory seasons. And I wish Star versus the Forces of Evil ends when it needs to end and doesn't finish like Fairly Odd Parents, prostituted and raped. Taffy keeps on being the main villain in this season. I don't like so much this Taffy, and it seems he is turning into a very powerful character suddenly. I think he's gonna be replaced at the end as the great villain by someone more powerful. The most important in this season was not the fight against the evil, cause the evil Toffee resurges until the final chapter, so we only had a few minor battles. The most important was knowing more about the universe of Star versus the Forces of Evil, the characters' development, and of course, the romance issue was the most interesting to me, a very good condiment. Some of my favorite chapters were the sleepover and when Marco tries to recover Star's scissors. Marco turns into a 30 years old guy. At the end, he comes back to his own timeline, but hey, wasn't Marco supposed to have a 30 years old mind now? That means that if Marco still likes Jackie, then he's being a cradle robber. For me, he is that right now and it is cool and crazy. The bad thing is that Marco is still the same immature and dumb being. The chapter where Star goes to the cemetery waiting for the visit of the ghost clown and the final chapter were amazing. It could be easier to say which wasn't good in the second half of this second season. It was awesome. Okay, now about the STARCO or relationship between Star and Marco and the JARCO or relationship between Jackie and Marco. In this season we could see that JARCO has won this time. And I say this time because I can see clues that we are gonna see the victory of STARCO at the end of the story. I guess at the end Star and Marco are gonna fall in love with each other and that's something I wouldn't like at all. In this season we saw Jackie and Marco in a relationship and it is so clear that they fit perfectly. They are a good combination and both look happy and satisfied. However, we have now that Star has a crush in Marco too. Suddenly! That is something forced in my opinion. Along the story, we have seen that Star and Marco are excellent friends. That's the perfect relation between them. Just friends. There was no signs of Star having a crush on Marco in the first season, except for the Red Moon event. I know that the Red Moon thing is supposed to link two souls forever, but I think it could be applied to a friendship link too. I really didn't suspect something like a crush between them. I can even see Marco clearing that he doesn't have a crush on Star in his actions. He only takes her like a friend. But well, the end of the second season came and the result is that Star confesses to Marco that she has a crush on him just before she had to leave Earth. So we got a little dramatic event where Marco chases Star but he can't catch her and she disappears without explanation. Star was very in peace and satisfied with herself after the chapter called Just Friends, where she accepted the relationship between Marco and Jackie. Everything was okay that way, but they had to ruin it like this. I feel angry when I think about what I can see is coming. I see Marco starting a quest searching Star in the next season. In his despair, I'm sure that he's gonna neglect Jackie and feelings for Star are gonna burn in him during the quest. I even think that Jackie is gonna admit that Marco should be with Star and not with her and all that crap. I feel there is a high probability that this happens, and would be very sad, because it could be very forced and means the sacrifice of that great relationship we were finding in Marco and Jackie. Definitely something better than Starco could show. Jarco is something more meritorious, because Marco was always in love with Jackie and very loyal to her. He tried to get close to her since he was a little kid and the relation was evolving. And Jackie made her part too. She really likes Marco for what he is. As she said, she likes that Marco always wakes up after he falls down. Doesn't matter how hard he falls. Despite all the ridiculous things that Jackie has lived with Marco, she never rejected him and always gave a good face to him. Jackie was who finally made the first step for this relationship, so she's the perfect girl for Marco. But as I said, I think the series is gonna force a Starco and Starco is gonna win. And we have an habit in animated series. At the end of the series, characters never stay with the person they liked from the beginning of the series. They always stay with a new person or a person that was only a friend in the beginning, so we can see how the feelings grow up between them along the story. We have a lot of examples like this I am showing here. For this, I have already exposed, is what I think that we are gonna get a forced Starco, but still, Jarco is superior, no doubt about it. See you later.